Ethereal.
Yeah.
And what a moment. She's won the double. Melbourne Cup was an afterthought. Wasn't going to come for this race until about a week after the Caulfield Cup. And how strong was she at the end of 2 miles? Give the slip, what a run. And Persian Punch. For a beaten performance, that's as good as I've ever seen. That was a mighty run, the third horse.
Yeah, here's the rerun. And you can see Hilla Grace, he'd lost his rider about the 600-metre mark, Dan, and I don't know what happened there, but here's Ethereal. Give the slips on the fence, doing a great job here. I thought, gee, he's going to be able to catch, but here comes Ethereal.
Probably in the worst going too. I think at this point you knew Ethereal, as long as it had the legs to get there, it would get there. It would have been in the better going. 4th in 18, 5th in 19. Here's Peter Donegan.
And Sheila Laxon is making her way down from the trainers area here after training this horse to become the 3rd horse in history to win the Caulfield Melbourne Cups double. I can tell you one thing, Sheila actually ran out of clothes throughout the week. She's got an outfit on today from Perry Cutton, and it's about to be seen around the world because she is about to join us at Flemington on the first Tuesday in November after making a little bit of history. Well done. Congratulations. What about that?
That was all right, wasn't it? Isn't she super?
I think she's super, and I bet you do too.
She's the best.
What about Sheila when Give the Slip race 5 in front of the 300-metre mark? Did you think you could catch her?
Oh, I thought she was struggling a bit, you know, and then suddenly when she straightened up and started to kick, oh, that was massive. That was massive.
How have you coped with all of the pressure that's been on you since the Caulfield Cup? That smile never leaves your face. I don't think it will for a while now.
Not for a while. No, it's been wonderful. I've loved being over here, and you guys have been really good, so...
And you love the mare too.
Yeah, I do, very much, very much.
You're going to remember this moment for the rest of your life, and I'm sure Laurie's watching in Singapore as well.
That might be him, actually.
Well, let's see if it is. Ethereal stepped on this telephone before the Caulfield Cup, and I think Sheila's just getting the phone calls of congratulations from all over the world. Is it Laurie? No? Okay. Laurie will be on the phone shortly, but Laurie, I think you'll get the engage signal. John Letts is out there with the man who's won the Caulfield Melbourne Cups double, Scott Seamer.
Look, Pete, honestly, she is really, Scotty, she is really flat, isn't she?
She tried her heart out. She's no mucking around coming back today, but no, she's certainly one of the top, best ever horse I've been on, and probably one of the best fillies, you know, to race in the both cups.
Scotty, a year ago, you were at where, Ballina?
Yeah, I ride in Brisbane, but I live at Ballina and hope they enjoy it as much as I do today.
Now, what if someone had said to you, you're going to win the Caulfield Melbourne Cup double in the year 2001?
Oh, I would have told them in a few other words too that they were mad.
Scotty, this is opening doors to the world for you. You're international now, and Scotty Seamer, you've earned it, and it's really well rewarded for you, mate, because you've worked hard for it. You went to New Zealand Road this mare, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to New Zealand Road, but all credit goes to the mare and Sheila Laxon, the owners, for having faith in me to keep me on. I've been on a few handy horses, but never on their back long enough to be real successful with them, so it's a bit late in my career, but geez, I hope I can kick-start it off.
Scotty, it's better to be late in your career than never, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Today's your day, mate. You're the king of Melbourne tonight. Congratulations, Scotty. Great to see you win it.
Thanks very much.
And back down here in the mounting yard, Peter Vella, we've already spoken to Peter, and one of the first to congratulate him was Colin Alderson, who had Sky Heights. What about his run, Col?
Yeah, it's a good run. He just got back out of his ground too far, and he looked to hit the line, but I'm just getting an explanation off Damien, but looked like he might have got tightened just after the start and put him out of it a bit.
I mentioned you congratulated Peter Vella. You protested against him in the Caulfield Cup, but the first to say well done.
Yeah, and I just told him I was going to protest then and frightened the hell out of him.
Good on you, Colin Alderson. Thanks very much. And here is this moment that we anticipate every year. The first Tuesday in November, it's Flemington. It's the biggest stage in Australian racing. And Scott Seamer is about to enjoy it, but there is a bit of drama. This actually happened with Larry Cassidy aboard Arena when he came back after the Derby a couple of years ago. And this mare has just been spooked a little by the crowd. And Scott Seamer looks as though he's a bit ginger. He won't be feeling too much pain at the moment. He wants to get back on, get back up there, doff the cap, and accept the cheers of the crowd. And maybe if there's a bruise on the foot or the knee or the behind tomorrow, he'll say, well, that was pretty well worth it because I just won the greatest race in the land. What a fantastic moment. The third mare in history to win the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups double, Scott Seamer, a macadamia nut farmer from up north. When he first came down here, he'd ridden 1,000 winners and the steward didn't know who he was. Now, he is the best known jockey in Australia. just for this moment. Sheila Laxon, Scott Seymour and Ethereal. What an amazing story it is. As we said, Sheila nearly died in a race fall 10 years ago. And now she leads her horse back. Such a popular win. The first lady trainer to officially train a Melbourne Cup winner. Coming in behind her, that horse Give the Slip. Let's not forget his effort. When he dashed 5 lengths in front of the 300-metre mark, you had to think, well, maybe the internationals are going to take the cup away again. And we'll try and catch up with his trainer, Saeed bin Saror. And Persian Punch ran a mighty race as well. And he has finished in 3rd placing. Karazi finished officially 4th in the race. And 5th home was May the Horse Be With You, which made up a lot of ground at the end. They'll keep that saddlecloth as a memento. Scott Seymour just trying to make his way through the throng of people that assembles here. And he's doing it slowly. He's going to need the doctor. And then tonight, maybe a little bit of champagne might help to dull the pain. He deserves it, because he rode that mare hard over the concluding stages. We haven't seen too many jockeys limp to the scales at Flemington on the first Tuesday in November. And you can see the pain etched on his face at present. It won't be there for too long, I don't think. Scott Seymour has the skull cap and the whip handed back to him, and he is in quite a bit of distress. And that mare can be a little spooky. As we said, in the mounting yard before the Caulfield Cup, just before Scott Seymour was about to get on, she threw her head in the air. She knocked the mobile phone of Sheila Laxon out of her hands. The phone fell on the ground and Ethereal stood on top of it. And that's the reason you saw the rubber bands all the way around Sheila Laxon's phone, from which she is taking congratulatory calls from around Australia and around the world at the moment. Unlucky 13, not on your life. The Caulfield and Melbourne Cup stubble goes to Ethereal, defeating the gallant Give the Slip and Persian Punch. We are going to take a break from Flemington, and when we come back, Sheila Laxon, Scott Seymour, Peter Vella will enjoy their finest moment in racing as they accept the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup of 2001. Has done it. Ethereal, after the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup, Des Gleeson just about to signal correct weight. He will just be inspecting the details of the betting announcement with the late scratching of Carpstad Way, which was taken out just under an hour or so before the race. So he's just studying that now, and then he will make sure that everything is okay before giving the official correct weight signal after the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup, with Ethereal defeating Give the Slip and Persian Punch. So yet again, the imports have come close, as they did with Central Park in 1999, but they haven't been able to win the race since Vintage Crop won it back in 1993. And Des Gleeson, as he always is, meticulous in checking over absolutely every detail before saying that it is okay to pay. And when he does give that signal, we will give you the dividends right around Australia. Correct weight is there, so weight is right on the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup for Ethereal, Give the Slip and Persian Punch with the weight signal. Let's check the dividends from around Australia with Dan Malicki.
Ethereal on Super Tab and even $10, $9.20 in New South Wales, $9 in Queensland as the siren sounds here at Flemington, but it could well be for the late withdrawal. I wouldn't think there'd be a problem during the race at all. $12.30 Give the Slip, $5.20 Persian Punch, Quinella $287.20, Exacta $494.90, Trifecta $5,210.70, shopping a bit better New South Wales and Queensland, and the running double $31.10, 4 and 13. Fourth in number 18, fifth in number 19, sixth in was number 22. Hill of Grace lost the rider around the home turn. Ethereal taking out the big double. And I'll just need to get some confirmation, but I understand it's correct weight. And there was just an announcement regarding betting deductions for Carpstad Way. Tim.
Yeah, good on you, Dan. Thank you very much. Well, they left the money in the bag with Sky Heights and also, of course, Rain Gauge late. Ethereal in doubles, Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup doubles. Not a good result for a lot of doubles bookmakers. They were bleeding, in fact. About 5 minutes ago when I saw them, they were counting the costs. But today, Ethereal was a bit of a drifter in the ring. And one of the leading rails bookmakers, Ray Swanee, wants to send a message to his wife, Joy. He said he'll buy the Chinese. It was a great result for him.
Yeah, don't you love it? We've been saying all week, and Peter Donegan, I know, would be absolutely absolutely thrilled. What a great story it would be if Sheila Laxon could win the Melbourne Cup with the mare that she absolutely adores, Ethereal. And we hope you saw that beautiful story we had during the carnival. We showed it again today, and it was there on Derby Day of Sheila with the horse. And, you know, having owned them myself, I used to show jump the thoroughbreds, and you get very, very attached to them, and they become part of the family. And you can tell that's the case with Sheila. And there she is, the Melbourne Cup champion for 2001, Ethereal. Now, here's your full field results. Ethereal, Give the Slip, Persian Punch, then Karachi, May the Horse Be With You. Rain Gauge, Marion Bard, Sky Heights reenact Prophet's Kiss, Mr. Prudent, Caetano, Rum, Freemason, Spirit of Westbury, Yippee-I-O, Big Pat, Pastor Express, Hill of Grace, Curator Storm, and Celestial Show. Just confirm for me, producers, that Celestial Show is last, because that's very important for sweepstakes. Now, we can't confirm that. We'll make sure that that is correct, because we know around the country you love your sweeps, and we will confirm the official last place getter for you. Peter Donegan.
Yes.
What a day.
An amazing day, Tim, and a great story, as you said. I believe that Pastor Express may have been last across the line. Those unofficial results were clearly not correct at the end, because Hill of Grace lost the rider.
Yes.
And I believe, Jen, there is an unconfirmed report that Corey Brown might have broken his arm.
Oh, that's such a shame, because poor Corey, you know, he had that terrible mishap here in the mounting out on Saturday on Oamaru Force, and he hurt his coccyx bone, and now he's unfortunately hurt his arm. But
I stress that is unconfirmed at the moment, but as soon as we can find out, we will bring you the news. Well, let's catch our breath.
Oh, look, what a great story, Sheila Laxon, and what a terrific mare too.
Yeah, I mentioned the fact briefly as Sheila was about to talk to us that she was in at Network 10 in Melbourne the other day for an appearance on Good Morning Australia with Bert Newton. And she did mention to Tim Hodges from our news department the fact, she said, Tim, I've run out of clothes. I just don't know what I'm going to wear to the Melbourne Cup. So we got a few things organised, and through our wardrobe supervisor and stylist, Tina LaRocca, she was able to organise a Perry Cutton outfit for her. That's what she is wearing today. So
she looks
well done
sensational.
to her. Yeah. Now, this is what happened coming before the home turn, and Hill of Grace is in gold and red colours, and she's bang, down she goes, and you can see Corey Brown has had a pretty heavy tumble, and he's landed on his right arm there. So
seemed to be a bit of pressure from the outside there. Maybe the horse, May the Horse Be With You, I think.
Yeah, they got very, very tight at the end. So we will bring you a report on Corey Brown as soon as we possibly can. The judge has officially confirmed to us that the last horse in the Melbourne Cup is Pastor Express for your sweeps around the country. Number 12, Pastor Express. That's from the judge high above the Flemington grandstand. There is a warning siren just sounding now. Correct weight has been notified. I can tell you the warning siren that Dan alluded to before was simply the betting announcement with Carpstad Way.
Yes, that's right.
So it looks as though there's going to be another late scratching.
No, we're just getting another announcement through.
And if that bloke had stopped yelling, race 10, number 6, I'm on a high is a late scratching. Race 10, number 6, I'm on a high, a late scratching from the final event. But it's time now for one of the big moments, the big moment of racing throughout the year, the presentation after the Tooheys New Melbourne Cup of 2001. And here's our Master of Ceremonies, Rob Gaylard.
Thank you very much, Peter. Ladies and gentlemen, another thrilling Melbourne Cup this year. We welcome Tooheys aboard as sponsor. Ethereal, mystical, heavenly, outside this world is how the name has come about. Just talking with everyone behind me, so excited. I don't think there's too much outside this world for them. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the chairman of the VRC to begin our presentations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andrew Ramsden.
Your Excellencies, the Governor-General and Mrs Hollingworth, Governor of Victoria, John Landy and Mrs Landy, the Honourable Steve Bracks, Premier of Victoria and Mrs Bracks, the Honourable Rob Hulls, Minister for Racing, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. What a great way to celebrate the 140th anniversary of our great race and to welcome our new sponsor, Tooheys New. Congratulations to the Connections. What a magnificent win by Ethereal, with the first lady trainer ever. I am delighted to welcome our new sponsor, Tooheys New. Welcome to our new sponsor, Tooheys New. There is definitely a new feel about the Melbourne Cup. with TUI's providing great support for our race that stops the nation. Not only have we just witnessed a fabulous battle down the Flemington Straight, we will soon see a TUI's millionaire crowned at Flemington. Millions of Australians have just shared the most compelling 3¼ minutes in sport, with Ethereal, trainer Sheila Laxon, jockey Scott Seymour and Peter and Philip Vella entering into the rich history of this great race. I welcome TUI's New and thank them for their outstanding support. We wanted the best for our great race, and I'm confident we have now that with TUI's New. I'm sure this is the start of a long and rewarded association together. Our race, the race that stops the nation, is enthusiastically celebrated by all Australians. This afternoon, from Darwin to Devonport, even Hobart, from Brisbane to Broome, all radios and television screens will now be focused on fabulous Flemington. I welcome viewers throughout Australia and around the world to Australia's greatest sporting event. On that note, I'm delighted to thank and welcome Mr. Gordon Cairns, Chief Executive Officer of Lion Nathan.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Twain said it prophetically and better than anyone. The cup astonishes me. Thank you, Andrew Ramsden and the VRC, for entrusting us with the sponsorship of the TUI's New Melbourne Cup. On this historic occasion, the first TUI's New Melbourne Cup, I would like to congratulate the winning trainer, Sheila Laxon, the winning jockey, Scott Seymour, and their owner, Mr. Vella. Thank you to my team who demonstrate by their actions the responsibility we feel towards one of the world's sporting icons. Thank you to the people of Melbourne for welcoming us and responding to our hospitality. We are not visitors now, we are residents, and we want to earn your friendship and your respect. And finally, we at Lion Nathan are a kaleidoscope of races and religions. Italians, French, Chinese, English, Irish, New Zealanders, and some very odd Scots. This diversity and tolerance is our strength, which unites us around our one core purpose: to make our world a more sociable place. This week, we may have contributed in a small but significant way. Now it is my duty to call upon the Governor-General, His Excellency the Right Reverend Dr. Peter Hollingworth, to present the inaugural TUI's New Melbourne Cup. Thank you.
Mr. Gordon Cairns, Chief Executive of Lion Nathan, thank you for bringing your Scottish weather to us today. To Mr. Andrew Ramsden, Chairman of the Victorian Racing Club, it's with the greatest of pleasure that I present this TUI's New Melbourne Cup to the owners of Ethereal, Mr. Peter and Mr. Philip Vella. In winning the race for the 140th Melbourne Cup, acclaimed as the greatest all-age, long-distance handicap race in the world, it comes with our heartiest congratulations to all its connections on an outstanding double win by a very fine horse.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Governor-General, Andrew Ramsden, Chairman of the VRC, ladies and gentlemen. This is a thrill beyond description, and I won't even try. I'm just going to get on and say a few thank yous. A very big thank you to the sponsors, first of all, Lion Nathan and Tui's, for making this great race, through their sponsorship, even greater. To Andrew and the club for the manner in which you are entrusted with the guardianship of this great race and this part of equine history. My congratulations for the outstanding way in which you undertake the responsibility. I'd like to thank very much those of my staff back home, the Leon Caseys that run our breeding operation, and all the staff there that work day in and day out to make these sorts of things possible for Philip and I. It's an enormous thrill, and we do thank them very much for the important part that they play in that. This was an enormous race, and I'd like to thank all of those friends of mine who told me what a goose I was for not immediately setting her fore at the moment that she won the Caulfield Cup, and I thank them for their advice and counsel, and I'm delighted that I took it. Jockey Scotty Seamer, I'm sorry that you parted company after the race, but my congratulations to you for a beautifully ridden race, a beautiful campaign. You dedicated yourself for the past few months to ensuring that you gave your very best to this mare down in Melbourne. You deserve every accolade that will come your way, and everyone is certainly well deserved. I thought the judgment you showed when Give the Slip clear, and you just sat quietly. It was a marvellous moment in racing, and one that we'll all watch the tape with the wisdom of hindsight and think what a genius you are. The real moment belongs to two wonderful ladies, and it was made possible for both of them by having, for the past month, a residence out at Macedon Lodge, which was provided to us very kindly by the owner, Kurt. And it's a world-class training establishment. I've seen them all over the world. There is none better. And I've no doubt that we brought to Melbourne a month or so ago a filly that was not long out of graduating from 3-year-old fillies races. And Kurt Stern's facilities at Macedon Lodge enabled her to turn from a 3-year-old filly into an outstanding mare who's now loped up alongside Let's Elope and run the Caulfield Melbourne Cup double. And I thank him very much for the accommodation, the courtesy and the hospitality that he extended to us. But the moment really belongs to two wonderful ladies, and I take my hat off to both of them. They share many characteristics. They're courageous, they're competitive, and they're both very classy. And I refer, of course, to Sheila Laxon and to Ethereal. And to both of them, I take my hat off, and I'm very proud of you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we can speak to one, we can't speak to the other. We've welcomed her into our homes and our hearts over the last few weeks. If I could ask Mr. Cairns if you wouldn't mind taking this wonderful cup here and present it to the winning trainer, ladies and gentlemen, Sheila Laxon.
Gosh, do I have to say something? Well, there's many thanks I have to make. And perhaps to the media first, because you really took me under your wing. I was a new kid on the block, and you wrote very kindly about me, and I got an incredible public following for Ethereal. And for her to come and do what she did today for you, I'm really rapt. That was a huge effort. To Peter and Philip Valla, when Laurie went to Singapore, they let me carry on training their horses. Although, you know, some people said that perhaps I wasn't up to it, and I'm really pleased to be able to vindicate their judgment today. Thank you, Peter and Philip. I've always said you have a horse with a V in the box, you're halfway there. With Ethereal, I was 7/8 of the way there. Thank you. And also to my staff at home, thank you for all the work you do for me there and keeping the home fires burning. I hope to return soon and help you out in that direction. To my family, John, he came over to Melbourne to be with me here today, and I'm rapt that he's able to share this experience with me. My daughter Lucy is naughty. She was confined to barracks at school. I miss you very much, Lucy, and I wish you were here, darling, but you take too much after your father. You have to learn the rules. To Craig, my stepson, who is now my foreman, he reluctantly took the position back in February and he's done a marvellous job. Thank you very much, Craig. And to Roger in England, he's a cameraman for BBC. He's coming back at Christmas and we'll have a big celebration. Now, there's plenty of other people to thank. You know, my friends and my enemies created the path that led here today, and I'd like to thank them for all their participating factors. Macedon Lodge, you know, you've been so good to me. Kurt, you let me have free run of your property, and I thank you. You have amazing property there, and it's got her really fit. She needed the Caulfield Cup run, and she was ready for today. Thank you very much. And of course to Ethereal, you're a magic horse, and I love you dearly. Thank you. Karen, my very best friend from my old school days, she came and strapped my horse at Caulfield, and now again today. It's great to catch up with you after such a long time, and you're still as neat a person as you ever was. So thank you, Melbourne. I'm pleased to be here, and I'll come back.
Well done, Sheila. Congratulations. Mr. Cairns, if I could also ask you to come forward again and take this trophy. Winning jockey, we hope he can stroll up here. I've got a feeling he'll make it. Ladies and gentlemen, our winning jockey, Scott Seymour.
Members of the VRC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I suppose this is a dream come true for me. I've got a lot of people to thank. My lovely wife, my mum and dad who are here today. The Vella family, they've entrusted me with their champion mare to ride. Sheila Laxon, who stuck up for me a fair bit for me to have the ride in the first place. To the mare herself, she's such a champion mare, she's lovely to ride. Kurt Stein for the lovely facilities he's left for Sheila to train the mare. Today's sponsors, Tui's. Without today's sponsors, well, the cheque wouldn't be quite as big as it's going to be. And a special thanks to my old boss, Ron Gosling, who taught me from the day I was 15 to how to ride and everything else about race riding. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good on you, Scotty. Well done. I tell you what, in a big money game, the Sheila Laxons of the world sort of bring you back to the ground. What it's all about, training thoroughbred racehorses, only the 5th mare since 1965 to win the Melbourne Cup. Ethereal is the 2001 Melbourne Cup champion. We'll take a break. Welcome back to the Melbourne Cup Carnival. I was just watching Scotty Seymour limp over there for that photograph, and he saw, I tell you what, came off the horse on the way back, and there's a happy fella. If you've been on Ethereal, you are pretty happy. There's the dividends for you one more time. Here in the New South Wales and Queensland, Ethereal $10, $3.70. Give the Slip $12.30. And Persian Punch $5.20. There's your trifecta and your Quinella. And just repeating for you, and again, our apologies for wrong information on our supers a couple of times, but Pastor Express is officially the last horse past the post in the Melbourne Cup. So that's for all your sweeps, and wherever you're watching us around Australia, I suppose it's getting towards celebration or commiseration time, but it all involves champagne, so that's just fine. Fashion, let's go back to Lynn Talbot with a feature on Katie Davenport.